If anyone was thinking of stacking silver at a good price, I believe we're still there, but I believe that window is closing.
Man, look at all this great gold we got today. Harry, you know, people have been asking about that giveaway.
Yep.
We were talking about it in the last video. Any sort of sneak peek what it could be?
Well, first the criteria. We got to get to 300,000 subscribers for your channel. We're getting there. We're at 281 this morning, I believe.
Yeah, it's doing
and
good.
We're grateful to everyone for that, and 19,000 more to go. Now, I don't have anything to show the subscribers and potential subscribers today, but I do have a question for everyone. Are any of you familiar with the 4-coin Gold Eagle set? That's the set that has the full ounce, the half ounce, the quarter ounce, and the 10th ounce. It's 1.85 troy ounces of gold. Is anyone familiar with that set? Just asking for a friend.
Yeah, for a friend. Wow,
Yeah.
Those are really cool sets, Harry.
Those are pretty cool sets. We got to get to 300,000, and then maybe we can talk further about this and that.
Buy your gold and silver online from SD Bullion. New customers get gold or silver at spot by visiting sdbullion.com/new.
We have to talk about the price action. I mean, look at this. Gold, 2,742, silver, 34.59. $34 silver, Harry. What's going on?
The metals are making their move. I believe it's driven by two things. One is the fact that the Federal Reserve has decided not to raise interest rates anymore for the time being. And secondly, and maybe more importantly, is just all the fear out there. Israel is poised to take out Iran in some large fashion. We have an election coming up that half the country wants to go one way and half the other. So a full 50% of the country is going to be really disappointed and very pissed off about the result, no matter what happens. And so there's a lot of fear about that. And the ratios are, I believe, hitting a place where they haven't been in a long time. And as you and I were discussing earlier, it's kind of changed your philosophy about what that means.
Yeah, so I've been saying this for the past 6+ years, but if the gold to silver ratio is above 80, I like to primarily stack only silver. Don't buy any gold, just silver. And today is the first time in a while that it's actually gone below 80. It's 79 to 1 now.
79.33 this morning.
Yeah, so for me, my strategy has now shifted where I can buy gold and silver because the ratio is getting to a more neutral place.
I agree in part with what you just said, although I'm still very bullish on silver. I still think silver is a great bargain compared to gold. Remember, gold is just $4 off its all-time high.
Yeah, inflation adjusted all-time high.
Exactly, it's 27.47. So at 27.42.30, it's right there at an all-time high. On the other hand, silver, as high as it is today at 34.59, is still 60-some% of its all-time high of over $50. It's still a bargain compared to gold, and it's going away. Because, as you said, the ratio has dipped below 80 and it's heading south. And so if anyone was thinking of stacking silver at a good price, I believe we're still there, but I believe that window is closing.
Yeah. People are talking about silver making a run up to $50.
I didn't think so at the beginning of this year, but we're only $15.44 from that right now.
Yeah, and silver's already gone up, what, $12 this year?
Oh yeah. Gold is insane. And I think people have talked about $3,000 gold, and I've always scoffed at it, but I think I better stop that because we've come close to 2,800 in recent days.
I know.
And all it'll take is some world event like Israel taking out Iran's oil fields or maybe a nuclear plant, and I think it's going to skyrocket because what's going to happen is OPEC is going to shut off the oil pipeline to us. Gas prices are going to go through the roof, and that will drive the metals higher.
Yeah, all commodities.
All commodities, absolutely.
Well, so if people wanted to get in right now and pick up some silver or some gold, maybe before it goes really bonkers, I mean, it's already going crazy right now, but what should they be buying? I mean, you said that you favor silver. What types of silver? What should they look for?
My two favorites are still Buffalo Rounds because it's the most silver for your money, and Canadian Silver Maples because they are a full ounce of silver and they're denominated $5 Canadian. I'm always about getting the most silver for your money in the most popular style. You always want to have a mind towards when you go to sell it, what am I going to get for it? Are people going to like what I like? Are they going to give me full price because they like what I like? And so to this moment, I still say Buffalo Rounds are still your best bet. And again, followed closely by Silver Maples.
There it is. We got a maple leaf and a buffalo. So
Yeah.
these are your top two choices for silver.
But look what the prices have done. I mean, truly the bargain's going away. Eagles are just a hair under $40 an ounce again. And not because of any shortage, but because of the price going up. Maples are 38 and rounds are 36.
Well, if I was looking to buy some silver today and I could pay $36 for a buffalo or $38 for a maple, I would just get the buffaloes because you can get more.
Agreed. But there's an element of a group of stackers out there who truly believe that they want sovereign coins. Remember, a buffalo round is not a coin.
Right.
It's not issued by a government, nor is it denominated any face value. But if someone wants a denominated sovereign coin, the maples, I think, are your absolute best buy.
Yeah, I think maples are a great buy. I put them as my #1 coin of the year. I think they've won it a few years in a row now. So yeah, I love maples. I've stacked a lot of them in the past. I feel like whenever we talk about stacking silver, we got to bring up the constitutional silver.
Constitutional is the standby for those who feel that this will be needed for barter. You could use rounds and maples for barter, but the increments aren't small enough to buy little things, little increments, say, of food or ammunition or water. And so dimes, quarters, half dollars are still a superb way to stack silver if you feel that barter is a possibility in our future.
Well, I think it definitely is a possibility. I mean, you said earlier, half the country is going to be really upset after the election, and things could get pretty nasty out there depending on which way it goes. Beyond that, I just think our world is in chaos, and anything's really a possibility.
And you know, to that point, there's been an ordering pattern that has been unusual. I follow this stuff very closely here in our own shop. And there have been people who I haven't heard from in a long time who are buying, not just buying again, but buying massive quantities of silver and some gold. There was a lady who hadn't called us maybe in 2 years from a nearby town, ordered $50,000 in silver rounds and mercury dimes yesterday. $50,000. I mean, wired the money, didn't even come in, just wired the money and wasn't even particularly concerned about what she got. I had to ask her 3 or 4 times, how do we divide this up? Because she was ambivalent, like, whatever, just give me, I need 50,000 worth of silver. Another fella who I hadn't seen in the better part of a year and always bought decent quantities, on a regular basis, came in on 2 days in a row and spent over $200,000, mostly on silver, mostly on rounds. $200,000.
Wow.
And this is a guy who I respect because he studies economics and he studies the value of the dollar against other currencies, and all of a sudden he's buying silver. No one person has all the answers or maybe even any answers, but it's very telling to me when someone that I respect comes in and spends that kind of money.
Yeah, and what kind of silver was he getting?
Rounds.
He wanted all rounds.
All rounds.
Wow. I mean, that just goes to show that people want the weight when it comes to silver.
Yes.
They're getting the cheapest type of silver because they can get the most ounces. That's what really matters to people.
I mean, yesterday he ordered 1,000 silver rounds. Think about that. 1,000 ounces. At these high prices, he feels like it's necessary to buy more than he's ever bought before.
Wow. Well, I mean, the thing is if the dollar really is crumbling and it really is going to get a lot weaker, we're going to see lots more inflation over the next few years, few decades, then you really don't want to be holding dollars. You want to be holding something that has intrinsic value, something that's outside of that system, something that's always been money. I mean, silver has always been money.
And
Gold.
has always held its value. Silver buys today what it always bought. A silver dime buys what it always bought. A silver quarter still buys a gallon of gas as it did when I learned to drive in 1973. I remember buying a model boat as a kid with a Morgan dollar that I'd gotten for a birthday. I was probably 10 or 11 years old and went to the local drugstore and bought this model PT boat. And I haven't priced a model lately, but we're selling these for $32, and I bet for $32 you can go to a hobby shop and get a decent model boat.
I bet you could.
So the point being, the dollar in silver still buys what it bought in 1966. And here's another interesting thing that's happening. People have stuff in their garage or stuff in a drawer or stuff in a closet. That stuff's coming out of the closet and coming into the shop here. Specifically, I'm referring to things like silverware, forks, knives, spoons, serving platters, silver tea sets, again, sterling silver. And people will laugh and say, oh, I've been looking at this for 20 years, Harry, but I've noticed the price of metal now, and I think it's time to cash out. And they're walking out of here with, $1,000, $1,300. Let me show you some of the kind of things that have come in. So this is the kind of thing that happens when the metals soar. All of a sudden, something that's been tarnishing and gathering dust in your closet for decades becomes a valuable asset. Candlesticks, serving bowls, little candy dishes, a teapot, sterling silver flatware, all coming out of hiding. And it's because at this price, it's worth the trip over. It's worth cleaning that closet and seeing what treasure's lurking in there.
If it was me though, and I was getting rid of this stuff, I wouldn't take the cash and hold on to the cash. I'd be buying silver rounds or maybe a little bit of gold bullion and holding that instead. So yeah, I think it's great if people are holding on to this stuff and now's the time to get rid of it. And maybe if they need the cash, then yeah, pay your bills or whatever you need to do with it. But if it was me, I would rather be holding on to bullion than this stuff right here.
People always have a myriad of reasons for selling. We certainly have done some trades for gold and silver for this sort of thing. And a lot of the times the people don't need the money. They're older people, retired, doing well. It's hard to resist. Let's clean that closet. Let's get this stuff moving. And also, there are people who say, hey, I got a car repair, I've got rent. There was a lady last week who said she couldn't make rent. And this is what this stuff's for.
Yeah.
It's for a rainy day. It's for a time of difficulty or a time of uncertainty. And so you're able to pay your rent or your car bill or some unusual event that happens, unpleasant even, that, hey, be glad you have this stuff. That's why we buy this, is for a preparation of a bad event.
It's for emergencies. It's your insurance.
It's an insurance policy.
Yeah, it's a great insurance policy to have. I think everyone should be stacking. I've said it before, the minimum amount of silver you need to own is 40 ounces for every person. In fact, I have a whole video talking about that. I go into depth. If you guys want to check it out, I'll put it here at the end of the video.
What's the essence of the 40? Why that number?
You got to watch the other video to find out.
Okay, fair enough. That's fair enough.
All right. Hey, thanks so much for the time,
Thanks,
Harry.
Silver Dragons.
Appreciate it.